mention a particular tourmaline that goes by the name of watermelon tourmaline. Yes, it does look like a watermelon, hence the name. But there are other tourmalines out there as well. And these tourmalines rate a 7 to 7.5 on the Mohs scale. So as far as hardness, it's really good for typical everyday wear. And with such an array of colors, I don't see why you would opt to fabricate it. Tourmaline is known to have levels of iron, lithium, and manganese in it when forming. And depending on the level of these chemicals, this is where the color comes from, the color that determines the stone. Tourmalines are formed in pegmatites. These are igneous rock that has formed during the last stages of cooling in magma. Tourmaline can be mined all over the world, such as Brazil, there is Afghanistan, Mozambique, and also the United States of America. You can find an array of tourmalines, but for tourmaline, each color has its name. So when you hear something like rubellite, you'll know that we're referring to tourmaline that is sort of a dark pink to a red, like a raspberry sort of color. When you hear verdolites, you'll know that they're referring to your more green tourmalines. Chrome tourmaline has chromium in it, hence the name, and it's set aside from your regular verdolite tourmalines because it's more so of an emerald green. When you hear indicolite, we're referring to the blue that is found in tourmaline. Paraiba, you know that that's your neon tourmaline. Now, Paraiba is famous for its neon blue and green that it gives off when heated. This particular stone gets named from Paraiba because that's where it was originally mined in Brazil. When you hear that name, you normally would think that it was mined in Paraiba, Brazil. However, it can also be found in Nigeria. Now, when you find it in Nigeria, you'll hear it being called Cuprian tourmaline. These two particular stones are known to have copper in them, and that's what gives off that beautiful neon color when it's heated. Paraiba is more so of the bluish neon color. And so just make sure that you check with your jeweler which location was it actually mined in, because some people it does make a difference for. You also have bicolor tourmalines. Now bicolor is two colors. You can find it sort of like a gradual color change where it's sort of like an ombre effect where it gradually changes color, or it can be more so of an abrupt effect, something that's found in an ametrine where the color change is right down the middle of the stone and you can see either color vividly on either side of the stone. That's something that is sought after in ametrine. A lot of times in today's society, we have stones that are filtered. They'll get a little adjustment to filter out the imperfections that can be seen by the naked eye to make the stone look more flawless. And that's normal, but it's up to you. It's up to the individual. The individual may want a flawless looking stone. Me, however, this is me personally, I like the stone to look more closer to nature. It gives the stone its individuality. It gives the stone its characteristic, and no stone is exactly the same. But rubellites and Paraiba tourmalines or Cuprian tourmalines are known to have inclusions. So if you see little streaks of copper going through the stone, don't be alarmed. That's a normal thing. I think it actually gives the stone its individuality, and you have to ask the jeweler to let you know where that stone is actually from. Now, when it comes to Paraiba tourmaline, because of the copper, there are actually labs that can find out exactly where the stone comes from so that you know whether it actually was mined in Brazil or if it comes from Nigeria. Now, whichever location is more important to you, that depends on the individual. So just make sure to ask the jeweler which location was it actually mined. And there are procedures that they have where they can actually look at this particular tourmaline and let you know whether or not it was mined in Brazil. Don't be afraid to ask. It's okay. Why not become a custodian of these stones that come from the same place where you come from, that your ancestors come from? Isn't that lovely? Why not? For me, tourmalines and garnets are like the Skittles of gemstones with such an array of color to choose from. Why not be a custodian of a stone that comes from where you come from, or where your ancestor came from, to walk around with it and say, yes, this is me, this is who I am, this is who we are as a people, as a nation. This stone represents me, you know? I think it's a beautiful thing. I would love to see where we teach our daughters to wear real. I personally think that when you allow everything to be fabricated, we're unconsciously training them to accept anything. Thank you so much for tuning in. But if you really did enjoy it, why not hit a like? Go ahead and subscribe. And if you just can't wait for the next episode, then follow me on Instagram.